Hi, Terry. Happy
Hey,
Saturday. Got a little
happy.
bit of Irish green on today, my friend. Green number
Oh,
5
there you go. I
from
don't have mine on.
horseracingtoday.net. Hey, if you like the green number 5, and you hopefully a little bit of the luck of the Irish will wear off on us today. But if you like the green number 5, do us a huge favor. Head on over to horseracingtoday.net. Click on Horse Racing Today gear, and there you got it right there, the hat number 5, just like I'm wearing.
That's
And
right.
then you too could have some luck of the Irish.
I got some more coming here in the next week or so. So I
Beautiful. You'll
ordered.
look at your picks will be as good as you look.
That's
Or is it
right.
the other way around?
I think the other way around. But anyway, I've got the 3 coming, and I think I have I don't know, 11 or something like that coming. So
Well, today is an absolutely big day of racing, mostly at Tampa Bay Downs, and we have a lot of that covered. If we're not going to cover that here today, we're going to go over 2 races at Gulfstream Park, 1 race at Oaklawn, and 1 race at Santa Anita. If you want to catch up on all the big races this weekend at Tampa Bay today, the Tampa Bay Derby, the Hillsborough, and the Florida Oaks, head on over to our website, horseracingtoday.net. You'll see the story right there where we did the Players Edge podcast on Thursday with David Harrison, who's the reigning, defending world champion horse racing handicapper. He gave us his insights, and he gave us a pick that he's really confident in race number 10 to connect the pick 3 and the pick 4. So you're going to have to go over to horseracingtoday.net. You'll see the story there. Click on that. And, of course, while you're there, you'll also see Terry's best bet of the day, which is also at Tampa Bay Downs today.
absolutely. Yeah.
And that's race number 2. So that's coming right up. So you better head over there pretty quick if you want that.
Yeah, absolutely. And yesterday, my best pick of the day actually did fairly decent, I guess. The number 5 or number 2 pick won the race, and I'm number 1 pick ran 3rd. So,
well, that'll work. So today we're going to cover, like I said, a bunch of races, 4 races. We're going to cover them in great detail today. That's going to be Gulfstream Park. We're going to start there. Race number 7, Terry. This is the Hurricane BERTIE Stakes. It is 6.5 furlongs on the main track. You have so far there have been 20 races, giving a little bit of a profile of winner here. 13 of them, so a pretty high percentage, won by speed. 5 of the 20 went wire to wire, so 25% for the people doing some quick math there. The rail gives you the best chance to win if from posts 4 through 7. With 4 through 7 outperforming 2 and 3. And if you get an 8, and I don't think that that's the case here today, Terry, but if you do happen to wear an 8, you do get an added bonus. I added a new chart today, Terry.
all right.
Hopefully you like these. This is something that I picked up in a book that I recommend. Anybody who does any horse racing handicapping, probably go look. Chris Parmalou suggested I take a look at it. It's called Extreme Pace Handicapping. You could get it on Amazon. It's pretty cheap, like $20. But what it does is it helps you kind of identify what the shape of the race might look like. And the E stands for horses that can get on the early lead. So when you're looking at the program, they have 1, 1, 1, 1, 1s, and that's the only way they've won. The E and the P shows an early pace, but can also press. So it's either 1 on the lead or been right off the lead and 1. The P is just horses that have pressed, like they can't get to the lead. And if they get to the lead, they fade. But if they get to the lead and win, so or they pressure the lead. And then you have the pressers and the closers. So those horses, I think probably stalkers and closers would be a better designation.
Yeah, I think so.
And then finally, C would be the closers. These are horses that have only won from coming off the pack. And by putting together the picture of the race like this, you can get a sense that most of the field here is bulked towards the front of the race, right?
Mm-hmm. You can.
So that might set up a scenario where the 3 horse can come from off the pace and win.
Could be. Yeah, that's good. I like that. I like this chart.
Yeah, well, I'll be providing them every Saturday from now on.
All right.
And it takes a little bit of time to put them all together, but that's why
sure.
We're half an hour later than usual. But looking at the pace coming out of the gate, Brambleberry looks like it's going to be along with Starship Nala in the Hurricane BERTIE Stakes. Those 2 should have the best early pace numbers, and then followed by My Destiny and 4 Graces. On the way home, Obligatory has a pretty good lead over 4 Graces. Over My Destiny. So that's how they'll be picking them up and putting them down at the end of the race. And then I put together my speed stock chart, Terry. So this gives you the average race speed figure for these horses in this field is the red dot. The very top of the line is the maximum speeds figure that they've scored. And then the very bottom of the line is the lowest speed figure they scored. So you can see, looks to me like the 5 horse on the outside there, Terry, has the highest average and the lowest floor. So you can probably expect a good race out of the 5.
I think so. Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so let's take a quick run through the field, Terry, starting off with number 1. As I mentioned, Brambleberry is probably going to be one that gets out of the gates pretty quickly. As you can see, he is an E-horse, all these ones right here. What are your thoughts about Brambleberry?
Well, let me tell you, I actually think Brambleberry has done pretty well. He's won 3 out of 5 races, including the last race at Gulfstream Park. This trainer wins 20% of the races when bringing the winner of the last race back, and this horse has good works.
And for me, I'd like to see right here on Brambleberry, you see a little bit of early pace, so 2 furlong, 4 furlong, and late pace improvement. That's a horse that's on the rise. My only concern maybe that it might have peaked in the last race, because you do see one of the highest speed numbers that the horse has produced there. But it has run well at Gulfstream Park with 11 races, 6 wins, and then at the distance, it's run 3 times with 2 wins in a second. Horse number 2 is Feeling Mischief.
Yeah.
The third start off a layoff, shipping in from Tampa Bay. What do you say?
Yeah, it finished third in her last race at Tampa Bay, winning the race before that, and then ran third in its only race at Gulfstream Park.
So, Ed, you say you have an 85% chance of winning and a double 95% chance of winning. How do you kind of explain to us where those numbers come from, if you'd be so kind? I'd appreciate it, because I'd like to know how to calculate them myself. That's really the reason for that question. Number 3, Obligatory, as we mentioned. This is a horse that when we looked at the race shape, it has the ability to close, one of the best closers, if not the only closer in the field. Did tie for the last race speed figure. That was all the way back in November. Been off the bench since. And when you look at its history of first time off the bench, it's kind of spotty. Has a win. Also has a second, but also has a couple clunkers in there. Which do you expect today?
Well, I think this horse closed to win his last race at Churchill Downs, and doing that, he got the highest last speed rating, and his best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters.
Yeah, so like I said, I'm a little mixed bag on that one, but the fact that the horse does have a run over to Gulfstream Park, and it was a win, and also has a win coming off the bench, and being a lone closer in a field where a lot of the horses could be packed towards the front, could work to its advantage. Number 4 is Starship Nala. This is one that can win on the pace or right off the pace, so it's an EP horse. I expect that you're going to see a pretty decent effort out of this horse as it shortens up a little bit. I do like the fact that you saw a little bit of 2 furlong and 4 furlong improvement in that last race, but a little bit of a fall off on the late pace numbers. And sometimes I find when horses put together stronger late pace numbers, Terry, it's an indication that they might perform well in the next race. So I'm a little concerned about the 4 horse here. You?
Well, yeah, a little bit. And let me correct myself. These are female horses, not male. I called the last one a male. But
that's all right.
Anyway.
No one's going to hold it against you, Terry.
Well, this horse ran in a grade 2 last time out, and she didn't embarrass herself. She finished 4th after staying with the speed for most of the race. And now she goes and tries a grade 3 race. So.
All right. Number 5 is 4 Graces. It's another one, Terry, that can run up close to the front or can run from the back. So that's a lot of versatility for jockey Julien Leparoux. It's making its third start off a layoff. And the only other time the horse ran in a 3-race cycle, it managed to run its best race in the 3rd race. So you think it can repeat that cycle?
I think she has a really good chance. She's been knocking at the door, running at the door, finishing 2nd in her last 2 races at Gulfstream Park. She has the highest last speed rating, and she has a really good 4 furlong workout, 48-1 breezing at 14 best out of 50. So,
okay. And then finally, we have to race horse number 6, My Destiny. Terry, My Destiny coming in from Tampa, where it just missed by a neck last time out. What do you think it's going to do this time out?
Okay, well, finished in the money in her last 5 races, winning 2 of those races. And the trainer in the last 14 days has a record of 5 starts, 2 wins, a 2nd, and a 3rd. And then has a bullet workout, 46 and change, the best of 48.
And then for me, looking at that horse, My Destiny, missed by a neck last time. That move from Gulfstream Park sometimes from Tampa to Gulfstream sometimes can be a difficult one, but the horse has run well at Gulfstream Park. Come back to run a bullet workout on March the 4th. So I wouldn't be surprised to see a pretty solid effort for a horse that's 1-for-1 at the distance on the course. All right, Terry. So now we get to that point in the race where we have to make our selections, Terry. Who do you like in the Hurricane Birdie Stakes?
Well, I like the number 5, 4 races to win the race. And my second choice is number 3, Obligatory. Third choice is number 6, My Destiny. And my fourth choice is number 2, Feeling Mischief.
For me in this race, I'm going to start with number 3, Obligatory, that lone closer. I think a lot of folks up front will have a pretty good chance to run them all down late. I'm going to go with 5, 4 Graces, number 1, Brambleberry, and number 6, My Destiny. So I'm going 3, 5. We agree on the first 2 orders, just a little different order, 1 and 6. Kind of disagree on the 1 and the 2 there.
Yeah.
That's all right, Terry. There's got to be a little bit of disagreement.
That's right.
The next card that we're going to cover, the next race on this Saturday that we're going to cover, Terry, is race number 10 at Gulfstream Park. This one is the Captiva Island Stakes. Have you been to Captiva Island?
I have not. Where's it at?
It's down by like Fort Myers in that area, by Naples, down in that area.
Oh, okay.
I think Naples is over on that side too. Yeah, but it's down in that area. It's pretty nice. Sanibel and Captiva Island. I was down there once. My folks used to rent a place down there every now and then, and I went to go visit them. So it was a good time right by the ocean there, Gulf of Mexico. It's a lot of fun. But this race is 5.5 furlongs on the turf course. It looks to me like it's sunny and warm down there, so I expect that they'll probably stay on the turf course. They've run 46 races. This is the profile of the winner, 31 of which were won by speed. 20, Terry, went wire to wire. As far as the post positions are concerned, there's really not much an advantage, although you do get a little bit of a bonus if you wear the black 2 or the blue 3, something that you'll be getting in the mail shortly. Let's once again take a look at what the pace race shape might look like. And here you can see in this particular spot, we got a lot of them that don't necessarily want the lead, but they've won on the lead. But they also can run from a little bit off the lead and win in the 4, the 6, the 7, and the 8. The 1 horse is one that likes to press or close. And then the 2, 3, and 5. So it looks like to me, maybe the speed of the speed can win this race. Probably sets up in a nice place for the 1 horse, because if the 4 early pace types go out a little bit too fast, can sit right off of them. And then if they go out at a moderate pace, can run right behind him as well. And then the 2, the 3, and the 5 will be dependent on how fast the 4, 6, 7, and 8 can go. Speaking of early pace numbers, this is how they'll come out of the gates at the quarter-mile marker. Headline Hunter and Miss Aromet and AG Indy all have very similar early pace. And then on the way home, the 2 horse, La Liberté, has a little bit of an advantage over Miss J. McKay, Naughty Shirley, and Toby's Heart. So if you think the closers are going to take it home, maybe look at the list on the right. If you feel like speed is going to take them home, look at the list on the left. As far as their speed figures are concerned, again, this is my trademarked speed stock chart. Not trademarked yet. I probably better do that, but
you better.
You can see, yeah, looks to me like the 3 has the highest average and the most upside potential there, with his average being the red dot and the peak up there. So perhaps that horse finds its way home.
That's right.
It'd be nice to see, right?
It would, yeah.
Love the pleasure horse in the Tampa Bay Derby. Hey, Tom, good to see you again, man. Where you been for a while? Terry always asking me. So Sean's little kid always says, "Hey, is Terry on today? Is Terry on today?" And when we go off, Terry's always asking me, "Rich, where's Tom Carley been?" So it's a circle of life.
Yeah, it is.
So let's go ahead and look at race number 10, 5.5 furlongs. Number 1, Bernie's Mistress.
Yeah, Bernie's Mistress may prove while we turn into a sprint, but I really can't see using it in my picks.
Yeah, I can't see either. There's nothing in the charts here or anything that I saw that makes me think that it's anything that is simply unforgettable.
That's right.
Number 2, La Liberté. a horse that has run at Gulfstream Park 3 times, a win and a third. Likes the distance, though, 3 times at the distance, 2 wins and a third. Coming down from Woodbine, hasn't run since November. And if you look at the horse's line on first times off the bench, it has run some pretty good races first time off the bench. So perhaps La Liberté for Marquez can get the job done.
Yeah, that could be, but I don't know. Has finished in the money 4 out of 4 times, winning one of them, in the last 4 races, and she finished third versus Tougher on all-weather track in the last race, and she drops in class today. So,
all right, number 3, Toby's Heart. It's another horse, Tom, Terry, that looks like it's going to come off the pace. Has not fared well at all at Gulfstream's. Run there twice. It's got as many wins at Gulfstream as you and I do. 0, at least on the turf. But on the other hand, it's run at the distance 3 times and has won all 3 of them. So this is a battle between distance and track.
Yeah, absolutely. Well,
which one do you think it's going to be?
Well, I'll tell you, I think the track he's going to do better here, but finished 8th in his last race. But she was brushed and carried out at the top of the stretch, and she has a high percentage winning trainer. She can improve while returning to a sprint, and she has the best turf speed among today's starters.
Well, the one thing I would say about the 2 Gulfstream races that they were both routes. Mm-hmm. Now she's cutting back to 5 furlongs where she's undefeated. So I don't know that the track is going to make a difference. Maybe it was the distance. I expect that you're going to see Toby's Heart make it a competitive and probably get rid of that O at Gulfstream. I don't know that end up in a win, but I do think Toby's Heart's probably got a pretty good chance to hit the board.
Yep.
Number 4, Miss Aramet. This is a horse that loves to be close to the front, Terry. It is an early pace horse, could take the lead, could run right off the pace, but either way should be involved from the time the gates open to the time they hit the wire, making its 4th start off a layoff. The last time the horse had a 4-race cycle wasn't the best of the 4, but only slightly. So I would expect a pretty similar effort out of Miss Aramet as we saw in its last race.
Yeah, I really like her. She likes Gulfstream Park, and she likes the distance. She won her last race at Gulfstream Park at today's distance. She has a high percentage winning trainer and pretty good jockey. I like Julien Lepierre.
Lepierre. You have to say it like Steve Martin in the Pink Panther.
Even though he's only winning at a 10% clip, but the season's early here, so.
Yeah, he's got plenty of time to get it together.
Yeah.
I like this name, Miss J. McKay, written by Tyler Gaffleone. Who? Tyler, love you, buddy, but you haven't been too friendly to me lately. Anyway, the horse was the favorite last time out. Maybe I bet on him that day. But the trainer here does respond back. Christophe Clement, 25% when he comes back with a beaten favorite the next time around the track. Run at the distance 5 times, Terry, though I did see some really nasty regression in that last race in the 4 furlong numbers, slightly regression in the late pace numbers. But if he can't stay up to the front and he regresses again early on, I don't know that 5 furlongs gives him enough runway at the end to catch him with those good late pace numbers.
Well, she might have had an excuse in that last race where she ran 4th. She was pinched and checked early in the race. She's won 2 out of the last 3 races. She has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey, and the trainer wins 25% of the time when bringing a beaten favorite back to race again.
It's also interesting to me, this is the 4th start off a layoff, something the horse hasn't done before, or maybe once before. And then if it did, in that 4th time off a layoff, it didn't really perform so well. So this horse usually 2 or 3 into the barn. So it'd be interesting to see if she can make it 4 races in a row. Number 6, Naughty Shirley. My grandmother's name was Shirley, and I didn't think of her in any way, shape, or form as naughty. She's great forward as well. It's a horse that can win from the front or right off the pace. I expect that you're going to see it try to be forwardly placed, Terry. He's run at Gulfstream before on the all-weather, run on the dirt. Hasn't quite made its way yet to the turf. Its off record says that it has a pretty good chance. It's sometimes a good indicator is the off track. 7 times, 3 wins, 2 seconds. Though they have been running at Prairie Meadows, Gulfstream is a pretty stiff step up in competition.
Yeah, she's won 3 out of the last 5 races, though. And the last race was at Gulfstream. She has a really good trainer. She has the highest last race speed rating and a good workout on what is March 5th, 3 furlongs, 36.3 breezing, ninth best out of 45.
Mm-hmm. And then number 7, AG Indy. Terry, this is another horse that prefers to be on the pace. Had a really good 2021 in on the board, 6 out of 6. Started off with a disappointing 8th by 15 lengths in its last start. You think maybe it can turn it around as it returns back to track and to a distance where it's 3 for 3?
I don't know. Came in from Southern California and tried the dirt, as you said, at Gulfstream Park here, and didn't respond very well. Now is back on the turf where she does better. She drops in class today, and her best turf speed is faster than the average winning speed.
Number 8 is Headline Hunter. Won its last race on the all-weather. Prior to that, ran on the dirt. Prior to that, ran on the turf and finished 3rd with Chantel Sutherland in the irons. Today gets JVN Toledo for Jose D'Angelo, the trainer, at Gulfstream. 2 times out, a win and a second. Last time out, you saw a little bit of improvement in the 4 furlong number, a little bit of regression in the late pace number. But you got a bullet workout since that last race. So I feel like this horse could show up and do pretty well on turf.
Yeah, you're right. She has only finished out of the money once in her career. And she's won 2 out of the last 4 races, winning the last race at Gulfstream Park. Trainer in the last 14 days has won 6 out of 16 races, been in the money 11 times. And as you said, has that nice bullet workout at 35 and change, best of 21.
All right, Terry, the moment we've been waiting for. What does Terry think is going to happen in the Captiva Island Stakes? And if you haven't been there, it's a pretty nice place to visit, Terry. You might want to think about going there.
All right, I will. I like the number 4 horse, Miss Armament, as my first choice. And then I like the number 8 horse, Headline Hunter, as my second choice. My third choice is number 5, Miss J. McKay. And my fourth choice is number 3, Toby's Heart.
Well, we have the same 4 horses, just in a little different order, Terry. I'm going to start off with Miss Ariamet, hit the board, 14 of 18 at the distance. Number 5, Miss J. McKay, missed as the favorite, as I mentioned last time out. Trainer Christophe Clement pops back 1 out of every 4 times. Number 3, Toby's Heart is my next selection. Undefeated in 3 at the distance, but yet to win at Gulfstream. But I did mention that was because those Gulfstream races were at over a mile, this time shortening back up. And then number 8, I have Headline Hunter as well. I expect that bullet workout will translate nicely to the track. Terry, if you're going to be doing some more, we talked a little bit about the big races today at Tampa Bay Downs. Chris Parmalu puts together some great articles for us. Chris, thank you very much. We appreciate that, where he breaks down a lot of this information, puts together a pace chart a little bit differently than what I did. He uses the Kieran points, but he got this out of the book. It does help. It helped me find some little bit more good, a little better prices, some horses time to time. So you might want to check that book out. Extreme Pace Handicapping by Randy Giles, or Giles, if I pronounced that incorrectly. I'm sorry, Randy. But these stories go in good depth. Make sure you check them out at horseracingtoday.net, or you could subscribe to our social sites, that be it Horse Race Today, as you see on the scroll down there, for all Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Sean, our Swiss Army Sean, links to these every single time we put one up, so you'll be able to catch them there. And it's a great read. You might not agree with Chris's picks. I mean, that's the great thing about horse racing. We all have our opinions, right?
That's right.
But I think he'll give you some perspective that maybe confirm or give you something else to think about while you're making your selections. Maybe a horse that you decide to add in that you didn't have in your exactas. Next up on or trifectas, or your pick 4s, whatever you're betting, right? Next up on our list, we're going to jet on down to Hot Springs, Arkansas. I've only driven through there, Terry. Have you ever been there?
Never been to Arkansas, no.
I got a ticket in there. I haven't gotten a ticket in like 20 years. And then I drove through Arkansas and I got one right away. Then they were like, "Woo!" I was like,
wow.
This sucks. But anyway, this is a 1.16 miles. This is the AZERI Grade 2, $350,000. Kind of a setup for the Apple Blossom. Some really nice horses in here in CC and She Dares the Devil. I expect this is going to be a fun race to watch. I can't wait to watch this one today. Let's go ahead and take a look at what our race shape might look like, Terry. And here you see that you have a lot of the horses are going to be towards that front again. You got some early speed. You got a couple that like to play right off the pace or can't take the lead if they want. Another couple that likes to be right off the pace, doesn't like to take it. So you might see a little bit of giddy up and go out of the gates, which could set it up nicely for the 1, the 2, and the 5 to close on the way home. And then if you look at the pace out of the gate, Terry, there are, you look at the 7 horse, She Dares the Devil and Super Quick. They both are super quick out of the gate, just a little bit quicker than Lady Mystify and Lavender. And on the way back home, CC should be coming the strongest. And it won't even be close. Lavender and She's All Wolf be right behind. Should make for a fun race home. So the question is, can CC run down She Dares the Devil? And if we look at the profile of a winner at a mile and a 16th on the track at Oaklawn Park, we find they've run 86 races, Terry. In those 86 races, 50 were won by speed, 14 went to wire. There's a slight rail bias and a slight bias if you wear an 8 or out. She's All Wolf does wear that 1, does get a little bit of a rail bias. Will it help?
I don't know if that'll help or not. I'll tell you, she finished in the money 7 out of 8 races in her career, winning 2 of those. And she ran second in her last race at Oaklawn. And this jockey in the last 7 days has won 4 out of 16 races. So,
yeah, a little bit. The horse comes out of the gate. I'm worried about a bounce here, Terry, in this horse. Well, actually, I kind of like to see this number because I could somewhat eliminate it. You see the horse comes out of the gate, runs a 92. Mm-hmm. That's the best speed number that it's probably ever run. Yeah, you see over here, it is the best speed number that the horse has run. When horses come out of the gate off a layoff like that and pop a big number, more often than not, they regress in the next race. So I'm expecting She's All Wolf to regress. Pauline's Pearl making its second start, coming in from Sam Houston, Zia Park, Remington Park, Charlestown. Really hasn't faced this caliber of stuff recently, but did run at Oaklawn Park twice already with a win and a second. Run at the distance 8 times and never failed to hit the board. Will it make it in the money 100% of the time at Oaklawn in the distance today? Will it add to that record?
Well, this horse is very consistent. Won the last 2 races in a row. The last race was a grade 3 affair, and now she goes for a hat trick. And she likes Oaklawn and the distance, and she's won 4 out of 8 races at today's distance. So,
all right, just a little heads up for everybody. Oaklawn looks like Aqueduct canceled all their stuff today. So if
they did,
yeah. So if you're betting at Aqueduct, go catch those tickets back and put that money to work in these 4 stakes races. Lavender smells good, but will she run good, Terry?
Well, I don't know. She won 2 out of her last 3 races. One on the turf and one on the dirt, which means to me she can run on either surface.
Yeah, Jim, Oaklawn does have some crazy things happen there all the time. I've never been there. Are you in a band, Jim? That's what it kind of looks like to me there. If so, if you'd like to help us with some music at the opening and the close, we would absolutely love to have our own music instead of just taking the stuff that's available for free on the YouTube library. I really don't want to support you. I won't say that because we're on it. I expect this horse will probably be one. We had Ramon Vasquez on the Player's Edge last week. It was a great show. You might want to rewind that one as well. I just think perhaps overmatched here, even though the horse did start its career in Southern California. Ave's Grace getting Lasix for the first time. Terry, I like the first time Lasix angle on a horse that has shown some early speed and then faded. That's worked out very well for me. And then you have the bullet and go down here. So the bullet work out before it comes to the track. I think Ava's Grace will run better than 12-1 odds.
Yeah, and as you said, has Lasix for the first time, and the trainer wins 31% of the time when he uses Lasix for the first time. This horse can improve while returning to a route, and as you said, she has a very good workout, best out of 47.
So is that like Northeastern, another one of those cycle bombs or something hitting the Midwest and the East?
Yeah, it could be.
CC is CC wearing the red pants, Terry? Because if CC is wearing the red pants, we know he's going to win. Yeah, that's a little inside joke there. We trainer CC Perkinson's been on the show a couple times, and she has a horse, Prince Ali. And then when it ran at Turf Paradise, it won. Paid it was like 7-1 that day. Yeah. I think our show got it bet down from like it's 14-1 morning line odds. She was wearing red pants. The next time out, the horse was running again, and I asked if she got the red pants. No, she was wearing white pants. I said, I'm not betting the horse. Well, guess what? The horse didn't win. So if CC's owner's wearing red pants, you can count on it heading into the winner's circle. But one thing that you can count on for sure is CC will be charging hard late and making herself known as they're approaching the wire.
Oh, yeah. She's finished in the money 7 out of the last 8 races. She's won 4 of those. She comes in from Santa Anita, try Oaklawn for the second time after winning the only race she ran here in the past. She has the highest speed rater figure at today's distance, and she has a workout on March 5th.
And being a Cowboys fan, no offense, Mike McCarthy, I'm always a little worried about Mike McCarthy not showing up in the big moment. I know it's a different Mike McCarthy. He's a good trainer, but got to throw that out there for all those Cowboy fans, myself included. Lady Mystify, there's one of these horses that needs to get to the lead. It's been running at Zia Park, Remington Park. Prior to that, ran at Del Mar and Santa Anita, Los Al. Can it bring its South California style to Oaklawn? And sometimes those Southern California shippers, I think they tend to do well at Oaklawn because at times Oaklawn can be a very fast track, much like those Southern California tracks.
Yeah, and you never know about horses coming from Santa Anita, but they do very well. She's finished in the money 6 out of 7 times during her career. She's won 3 of those races, and she's been off for 90 days, but the trainer wins 18% of the races when he brings a horse back that's been off for more than 90 days.
Yeah, I don't mind the off, especially for horses. If you look at Lady Mystify here at Zia Park, finished second. Okay. Here at Del Mar, off the layoff, you can see the horse won. So that's a positive. And then on the debut, the horse finished second by a half. So this is a horse that runs fresh. If those numbers were like 5, 5, and 5, I would just say pass because it has to show me that it can take some time off, come back ready to go. She Dares the Devil, Florent Garou, Brad Cox, strong combination, although they're not really finishing in the money a lot this year. But when they hit the board, and I find this surprising because Brad Cox, Florent Garou, 2 combinations that win at a pretty good pace, still generating a positive ROI, which I find amazing. And it seems like these 2 always start the year with a positive ROI and it starts to drop as the year goes along. It's another one that's coming off the bench and does have a pretty good history again of coming off the bench and winning. You can see here, 1 over here. Oops, sorry, wrong button. I don't know what I did there. I am not the best at these things. 1 again. Churchill won. Del Mar came off the bench and won. Churchill again, but last time out at Del Mar did not win. So overall, that record's pretty solid. I think you're going to see She Dares the Devil come off the bench and run a sparkling race.
I totally agree. She loves to win, and she's won 4 out of her 6 races in 2021, running third in one of the others. She has a high percentage of winning trainer jockey, as you referred to, and has the highest last speed rating, highest speed figure at today's distance, and best start speed as fast as among all the starters. So she marks off a lot of boxes.
Well, you know where she really loves to run? She really loves to run at 1 mile and a 16th. Done it 10 times, finished first 7.
Wow.
Second once and third. So, I mean, I absolutely will be a part, unless something goes horribly wrong, part of the exacta trifecta. Golden Curl, David Cabrera, who we had on Horse Center this past week. What a wonderful guy. Go check out that interview. You can hear him smiling, even though he was on the phone. You couldn't see it. If you haven't checked out that show, Horse Center, every day, 8 p.m. Eastern, Sean and I have a guest on, someone from the horse racing world. Talk to them about, their life, what they're doing, some of the upcoming events, that sort of stuff. And they're always pretty good interviews. I always have fun, and I usually take something away from every interview. What would you say, Terry?
Yeah, I think that's true. This horse actually, last time it won, had David Cabrera on it. So ran second in her last race, and she has a good 4 furlong workout, 48 and change breezing, 4th best out of 45. And prior to that, she had several other good workouts.
Super quick, has been super quick.
And scratched.
And scratched. Okay, so it makes that easy for us then, right,
Yep.
Terry?
Yep.
You don't have to talk about that one. I didn't, unfortunately, when I'm putting all these charts together, did not have time to check all that stuff out today. So thank you for being a very good wingman.
All righty.
I appreciate that. So race number 9, AZERI Stakes, Terry. Who do you got? She Dares the Devil or CC? I know you're going to have one of them on top.
Yeah, I like She Dares the Devil as my first pick, number 7. And then I like CC as my second pick, number 5. I had a hard time deciding which one to put on top, but I'm going to go with She Dares the Devil because she loves to win. And then I like number 2, Pauline's Pearl as my third pick. And then as my fourth pick, I'm going to take number 8, Golden Curl.
So Rich is going to go. I think There's the Devil gets the job done too. Just a monster. CC will try to make it closely. It's really like an entry to me, Terry. It's 1 and 1A, right?
Yeah.
And then I'm going to also go Pauline's Pearl third. And then I'm going to put She's All Wolf, a little bit of a price at the end, hoping maybe he can run third or fourth, fatten up the superfecta or the trifecta. And our last race for this day is going to be in Southern California, where we're going to cover the San Luis Rey Stakes. This one, Terry, is 1.5 miles downhill. And you know how many races they've run at 1.5 miles downhill so far, Terry? None. So we'd have absolutely no idea what the race bias will look like. But what we do know is what the race shape might look like. And this is what we see here. And this race, unlike the prior races where we saw a lot of horses kind of towards the front of the pack, now we see most of them are at the back of the pack. So the 6, the 7, and the 4, and maybe the 5 and the 8 that like to get off to a decent start should have a race shape advantage over all those horses in the back. Out of the gates, number 6, Acclimate, has an enormous early pace advantage over Current, and Current has an advantage over Helen's Joy, Dicey Mochara, an award winner. And then on the way back home, Say the Word, Dicey Mochara in Awfully Naughty, I guess related to Shirley, who we talked about a little bit earlier. Those three have some of the best late run in them. My stock charts look like this. You can see it looks to me like the 1 and the 2 have the highest upside. They typically run a better race average than some of these other horses has hit to the top side. So maybe Say the Word and Red King are the ones to beat. Let's talk about it and see what you think, Terry.
All right. Well, I like, first of all, number 1,
Say the Word.
Yeah, Say the Word. Finished third in the last race at Santa Anita, and the trainer Philip DiMauro and jockey Flavian Platt, and I just messed those names.
Flavian Pratt, huh?
Flavian, yes. That combo in the last 14 days has been in the money 4 out of 6 times, winning 2 of those.
Mm-hmm. And then for me, looking at this horse, second start off Alea, did run a pretty nice number. Does have some room for upside in here, Terry. Hasn't won at Santa Anita in 3 tries. You're looking back at the previous second starts off a layoff, almost always, in fact, always, well, recently anyway, better in the second start off the first start. So I think you're going to see Say the Word, run a better race than last time. Maybe it can cover up that 4 1/4 lengths at the end, but it's going to have its work cut out with it because there's not a lot of pace in the front of these closers, which could mean the pace is not fast enough for them to chase down, which is the same boat that Red King is in its second start off a layoff. But unlike Say the Word, Red King has backed up from time to time in that second start off a layoff. Which do you expect here?
Well, you know, he did run second in his first race since that 3-month break, and he came wide into the stretch. This is another one trained by Philip DiMauro. And you know, I think it's got a slight chance of getting in there. So.
Number 3, Airman. Airman has been at the back. I think it's likely to throw up an air ball in this spot.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'm not going to use it as my picks, although he likes the track and the distance.
One thing I would say is the late pace improvement, but that was the day after Christmas. But coming off the bench, I don't expect much out of this horse. The only time we see that it came off the bench in its races here, 6 by 14th and 7 by 3 3/4. It's a toss for me. Dicey Mochara making its second start off a layoff. You see here the horse does have a tendency to improve in the second start off a layoff. I like to see that. Do you expect to see some more improvement today?
Well, I don't know. He might do some more better this week. Although he won his last race at Santa Anita. And the jockey in the last 7 days has really been doing really well. Won 4 out of 9 races.
All right. And then let's take a look at the next horse in the spot, number 5, Current. Mm-hmm. Last time out, the horse closed for a win. It did show some nice improvement across the board in the 2 furlong and 4 furlong numbers. Did back off a little bit in the late pace, but probably didn't need it. Can it make it 2 wins in a row?
Yeah, this horse won the last race at Santa Anita and really increased its speed rating by quite a bit. trainer wins 37% of the time when he brings a winner back from the last race, who has won his last race. But I think this distance could be a problem. I don't know that he can go a mile and a half.
Yeah, it could be a problem. Acclimate could get an insurmountable lead here, Terry, that could make it very difficult for these other horses to run down. Did not come out and run a full race the last time out at 1.25 miles, but second start off a layoff, sometimes kind of the horse, run at the distance 5 times, only has a second in there. Any chance do you think that this horse can do it here again?
Well, I think he has a really good chance. He shows a lot of early speed. He can handle the long distance, and he has a little bit of excuse as the jockey lost his whip in the last race. He has the best turf speed among today's starters, actually tied with another one, and he has a good 5 furlong workout on March 6th, 1 minute 1, 5th best out of 57.
Number 7 is award winner, probably going to keep Acclimate a little bit of company out of the gates. Has run at Santa Anita 5 times, 2 wins, 2 seconds. Hasn't run since around Thanksgiving. Has some decent workouts since then. I like this workout here. 6 furlongs, 1 minute and 15, which is not the fastest of the day, but still a pretty good workout, I think, nonetheless. I think you keep Acclimate some company. Maybe the two of them go out a little too fast.
It could be, but this horse ran 4th last race, beaten only 1.5 lengths, and it was 1.5 miles. So he can go the distance. Has the highest last speed rating in the bunch here.
Helen's Joy, the 8 horse. This is a horse that's run 3 times at the distance, once at Santa Anita, shipping in from Fairgrounds where it has not run since the middle of December. Gets Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith and Richard Baltas. Workouts are okay, Terry. Coming off the bench, the horse is run middle of the road. I think that's what we're going to see here is a middle of the road effort from Helen's Joy. Maybe a horse that you spotlight for next time out if it shows something in this one.
Yeah, you kind of took most of my comments, but best turf speed is fastest. Turf speed is fastest among today's starters, tied with the horse that I talked about before. And as you said, Mike Smith's in the irons, and you never know what's going to happen with Mike Smith.
Awfully Naughty was just missed by a little bit last time out. I think that you'll see a horse probably improve in its second start off a layoff. It's going to be closing from the back, which again, I think could be a little bit difficult unless Acclimate and the other speed horses go out a little too fast. But I do expect to see some big separation. The late pace numbers in this last race were pretty solid. Some of the best late pace numbers that the horse has produced. I'm expecting to see a better effort in round number 2 off the bench with John Velasquez and Awfully Naughty.
Yeah, this horse actually won 2 out of the last 4 races, and in its last race was a little bit rank. So he's a good closer, and the 1.5 miles will really be beneficial to his running style, I believe.
And then that wraps up all of the races for today. Terry, the last thing we have left to do on our list of things to do is to tell us who we like in the San Luis Race Stakes.
Well, I like the number 1 horse as my top pick, Say the Word. My second pick is number 6, Acclimate. My third pick is number 7, Award Winner. And my fourth pick is number 2, Red King.
I'm going to go with number 4, Dicey Mo Chara as my top pick. Then I'm going to back it up with number 1, Say the Word. Then number 7, Award Winner. And then finally, it's a tough call between the number 2 and the number 6 for me, between Red King and Acclimate. I just feel like Acclimate's got a history of burning out, especially as races get longer. So I'm going to go with number 2, 4172. And again, your picks, Terry?
1, 6, 7, 2.
You don't even have the 4 horse. Huh. All right. Well, that means that's it's either going to be in the winner's circle or it's going to be dead last, one or the other.
You never know, huh?
You never can tell. Once again, folks, if you like what you saw here today, much like Lori Hay and Mike Watkins, please give us a thumbs up, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Horse Race Today, here on YouTube at Horse Racing Radar TV. Again, subscribe, give us a thumbs up. The more thumbs up we get, the more subscribers we get, the higher up we go up the rankings. That's a beautiful thing. We have some nice green hardware here today. You can get yours too at horseracingtoday.net. Click on HRT Gear in the menu. Help the show. this is one of the few ways we can make a buck. So hopefully, and we don't even make that many of them. But I also think beyond that, I think the logo, the whole thing looks pretty good, Terry. What do you think?
It does. I love the logo. I have for years. So
Indeed.
anyway.
If again, over at Horse Racing today, there's a lot of great information today. Terry has his, well, I think that race is over, so that one doesn't matter. We have the Player's Edge podcast with champion handicapper David Harrison. We talk about the 3 biggest races today at Tampa Bay Downs. If you like if you're looking for even more information on the Tampa Bay Derby, our Chris Parmalu has an excellent write-up on the Tampa Bay Derby over at horseracingtoday.net. And of course, we have all of our other regular content on there. Terry, that wraps up this Saturday. You and I will be back on Monday at 12 o'clock Eastern to make our full picks for, well, I'm not quite sure what track we're going to do yet. Terry, you want to decide that right now?
Yeah, we can. I think there's only 3 tracks that I know of running. So,
oh, that's good. It makes it easy for us.
Yeah, I think Parks, Mahoning Valley, and one other one, I think.
Probably Turf Paradise.
Yeah, it could be.
So. Yeah, let's see. Monday right now. Hold on one second. So we have Louisiana Downs, Mahoning Valley, Parks, and Turf Paradise. Well, okay. Do you want to go with Turf Paradise just to make sure we get good weather?
Yeah, let's do that.
All right, so Terry and I will be making full card picks for Turf Paradise on Monday. Tuesday, we'll be making full card picks for Parks. Yep. Wednesday, most likely, we'll be doing Gulfstream Park. And then Thursday, usually, if they run on Thursdays, and I would expect that they'll run on Thursday after canceling today, that would be Aqueduct. That's our schedule. Again, Sean and I will be back Monday night with Horse Center. We have a good guest, a good roster of guests this week, including Richard Mandela. So if you have questions for trainer Richard Mandela, make sure you tune in for that.
Yeah, it sounds good to me.
Any final thoughts, Terry, before we get up and get out of here this Saturday?
Well, I just hope everybody does well this week and this weekend. Enjoy the races at Tampa Bay and other tracks. And I just hope everybody's stays safe and, tell your loved ones you love them. So
absolutely. And if you love the show, again, please give us thumbs up. Tell your friends about us. We appreciate that. As always, we hope you have a fantastic weekend, both at the track and in your life. And we hope every single thing that you do ends up in the
winner's circle.
Absolutely. Have a great weekend. Thanks for spending your time with us.
Yep.